first episode of Hear the Hill. I'm Emma Runge, and this episode is about relationships. I'm with Max, Aariel, and Yurem.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
So I like this guy, right? And he's known for being friendly and funny. I've hung out with him outside of school before, and we've called and played Roblox. But whenever we do hang out, he says some things that are kind of random, or his friends will overly tease him when I'm around. And whenever one of us sees the other, we wave in the hallway until both of us can't see each other. He also gives me food unprovoked when someone else begged for it. Do you think he likes me?
So, okay, I think the first thing with this, especially when a guy is showing acts of service or doing something for someone, I think majority of the time, I can't give 100%, but I would say about 90% of the time, he has at least some interest. Because if he's putting in the effort, then I think there's something worth that. And then on top of that, I think if his friends are teasing him about it, he has to have told them something. You know what I'm saying? He has to have told them something about what he's thinking or anything. And then the random thing, I mean maybe he's nervous or something, so maybe he doesn't know how to talk or how to socialize, so maybe he's just throwing things out there. So I think that's a good sign. I think you're good, and especially if he's willing to give that attention and stuff, I think that's a good sign.
I also agree with what Max said. From my experience, most of the time when they're random with you, that means they feel safe and comfortable around you, and that can also show some interest too. That's why I said.
I mean, I wouldn't really jump there all the way to I think he likes me, all this and that, because maybe he's just being really friendly. Maybe he just really likes you as not just a friend, but as a best friend. But I mean, if you want that connection, that type of connection to be there, and then and you see that obviously he's or not he, they are just I don't know, and that they are just being overly kind to you that, just be overly kind back. You know?
Well, I think it's taking next step. You know what I mean? It's you're noticing these things.
In my experience, it's this person's being super nice to you. They're giving all these things, and they want to be around you. You can tell. You need to be the one who's at this point, you need to be the one who's
That's what I'm saying.
I like you.
Yeah. Well, okay. Not even that. I think you just need to hint to it more. You know what I mean?
Or you lean into it more. Just make it more noticeable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you another question. I've been dropping hints to my. Yeah.
Can you guys make it a conversation? You can talk over each other if you need to. Don't make it a Q&A. Yeah.
So do you want us to do that again?
Yeah. That one's fine.
Okay. So I've been dropping hints to my crush for a while now, but she doesn't seem to be picking up on them. How should I be obvious?
Well, what kind of hints have they been dropping?
I don't know.
They
didn't specify, but honestly, if you're dropping hints and they're not picking up, they can probably tell they're not interested.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's a guy though, low-key, this is my experience. I'm low-key
You have a lot of experience.
really shallow. No, I'm really I don't get hints a lot. I need to be told it's straightforward.
It takes you a minute?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. But I think you just gotta be upfront with it. I think it comes to a point, you know what I'm saying?
I've also given hints before, really
Strong
extreme
hints.
strong hints, and he still didn't know.
That's low-key me.
And it was just it made me so mad. So I just no.
I mean, I wouldn't really try and well, actually, if it's your best friend, I wouldn't do it, because if it don't go well, not only you're gonna lose your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but you're gonna lose your best friend. But I mean, if this is someone that you've recently met and you actually feel something towards them, I say just go for it. Don't drop hints. Let them know. Talk to them more. Build that relationship, and then when you feel hey, prom's coming up. When you feel it's right, just ask that question.
No, it's okay, but here's the thing. There's a time window. You know what I'm saying? I think after a certain point, you're beyond cooked.
Yeah.
It's not worth.
There was something there, but if you wait longer,
if you wait too long, yeah. So I mean, I think
So build the relationship fast. Then.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like, okay, if
Get
this is like in this
close.
person's situation, it's like friends. I think you
gotta do it.
Yeah, I think you gotta just do it or move on. And then if it's like new, then I think you can let it for a little bit longer, like let it go on for a little bit longer. But again, if it gets to like weeks out or like even a month out, like I think you just gotta like, if you look for an answer.
I feel like being friends first is a good way to go because me personally, I don't want to like get with someone, but I don't even know them like that. For a
Yeah, and it can be like a low stakes thing. You can just ask if they want to hang out.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
it
I'm
can be
saying,
low
yeah.
stakes.
like slow, friendly steps, and then like when you realize that you do want to actually pursue something, then you can start talking.
But I think it could be both too. Like, I mean, if you're like with the intention of dating someone and like you're intentionally going on a date, because I feel like it's a different, I think a lot of people get confused, you know, like there's dating and there's a relationship. Like dating, you're going out to see them, you know, figure out who they are, that type of person. Then you make your decision if you want to go into a relationship. So I think that's a good like way to go. Or you could go that friend route where you get to know them through like more friends, right? And then you like switch it to a relationship. You kind of skip that dating
I
part.
agree. I think it does work
Yeah.
both ways.
Okay.
So yeah.
So also, how do you deal with changing from a friendship to a relationship? Like, what would you do? Like, imagine you've been friends for a while, but all of a sudden you take this turn into a romantic relationship. How do things change?
So
I would start, like build up on those personal moments, you know? I mean, like if a lot of this is gonna happen like during high school too, like walk them to their class, like try and find a way to like have lunch with them, or like if you can get here early in the morning. I mean, obviously you'll have to like get here like before school, like maybe hang out with them a bit somewhere, and then like just like also, yeah, just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like, I think you need to ease into it. You know, you know what I mean? You can't just like confess your love to them off the get-go, because then they're gonna be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean?
So like I've been friends with him for like a while. So like when we got together, it didn't really feel like anything changed because we were already so close. Only thing that changed was just like
The way you treat each
labels.
other?
Yeah, basically. That's really it. So this is from my experience. This is what I'm trying to say. Like that's why I said taking the friend route is good.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I mean, I think I think there's just like a fine line. You know what I mean? It's blurry, but there's a fine line like in there where it's like you start acting and you start saying things and you start like showing them more attention. I think attention and like time together is a really big part of that, because if you're not spending time with them, if you're not actively showing like, hey, this is like
Like
you
you're
and me,
interested.
yeah,
Yeah.
then it's like that's not gonna work out at all. So
Quality time is really important.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
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 I'm going to give my own personal
part.
example. So I was talking to this guy for a while.
Ooh.
I had no romantic intentions with this guy.
Okay.
I did not like him at all,
Okay.
but I could tell he liked me. And after like talking for a while, he asked me out, and I said no in the kindest way possible. And then he completely ghosted me. What do you do in a situation like that? Because I still wanted to be friends with him. I did enjoy talking to him, and I did enjoy hanging out with him. But what do you do in this situation?
Well, I guess my question is, did he present it like as a friend initially? Because-
Initially, he was just acting friendly. He didn't act flirty at all. It was just friendly.
So you still want to be friends with him now?
I mean, at this point, he's ghosted me, so no. But
Oh, y'all heard it here. It's fine.
I mean, I guess it's like after the fact, so I guess you can't really do anything about that. I mean, I think if you really want to rekindle that, I mean,
if you were ever put in the situation.
oh, if I was put in that situation, like what would I do? I mean, I'm the confrontational person. Like I'd be like, hey, like what's up? Like what's wrong? Like what did I do? You know? And then if there's like that misunderstanding of like your communication, like, oh, I wanted this, but he wanted this, I think you guys can come to some sort of mutual like agreement where it's like, okay, like we can stay in touch, but maybe we're just not as close like that. You know what I mean? So
You still wanted to be friends with him, like when he did that? I don't know what to say. That's like, it's pretty messed up.
no, yeah, like if
'Cause,
he's ghosting you and like he just dropped you,
like over a rejection
Yeah.
is really crazy.
Yeah.
That's like honestly,
Embarrassing.
that's immature.
Right.
I'm gonna be so honest, cause if you ghost someone over a rejection instead of communicating about it, then I don't feel like that person will be good in a relationship anyway.
that's what I'm saying. So.
How'd you tell him no?
I just told him I'm not interested in you that way, but I still like you as a friend.
Oh, typical.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wouldn't really put that much energy into it. I mean, if they like feel like it's best to just like really not be friends with you anymore, you know? I mean, were like they besties with you or just like a
Not
friend?
besties, but we were pretty close. We talked about like a bunch of stuff together.
Do y'all have like the same class together?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that's the danger with her route, right? Like that friend route.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there's a higher probability that it's going to be a no if you're staying with friends, because then that's the intent you start with, and then you try and switch it. That switch can be really hard sometimes, and like it can take weeks, months, years. I mean,
Okay.
right? Years,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
So I mean, that's just my 2 cents into that. I don't know. I think maybe it's for the better that he's gone. It's like, oh well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So.
I feel like as soon as you found out that he did ghost you, just don't worry about it anymore. Because,
No, and it's to the point when I see him in the hallways, he just ignores me.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
yeah,
That's-
no, don't.
that's
don't.
done for.
It's to, yeah, it
You
gets
try
to
and
the
go say
point.
hi to him?
I like wave at him in the hallways, and he'll just like look at me, look away. He's
Don't do
he's very
that.
dramatic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And this is
no.
a guy?
That's good you said no.
That's
If he's
crazy.
being dramatic over
Right, that's
a ghost,
petty.
like,
That's so petty.
messed up.
I would just cut it off, leave it like that.
Maybe you
Yeah.
dodge a
To
bullet.
ghost you, ghost
Yeah,
him
never
back.
know.
Really, really.
Yeah, if he wants to ghost you, ghost him back. Don't be a fan. He's not a celebrity.
Yeah. Go back.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna ask you like a personal question. What's a failure like this guy had? Like, what's a romantic failure you've had?
Romantic
I
feelings.
thought-
Like just a way that you haven't succeeded in getting a relationship you like wanted.
Okay, I think it's important. Like when you're going out to like date, like I've gone on like a few like actual dates where it's like I make it clear that like I'm going on a date. I think you just gotta act yourself, because I think sometimes like I find myself getting really nervous and then like I tense up. If you're acting like that, that's almost like a sign to you. Maybe this isn't the relationship. Like this isn't what you like.
Be someone you're willing to be open
Yeah,
with.
because if you're getting nervous around them too much and it's like where you can't like communicate or talk to them, then I think that's like your own sign, you know what I mean? So I think like my biggest mistake was like just freezing up and like not knowing what to say and like getting like really awkward. Like be able to be comfortable, like have a conversation, talk about something like random. Even though I know you mentioned like that first question, like the random with it, I think random can be good sometimes because you really open it up and then you guys can find something interesting to talk about. And I think like in my past, like that's been a really big like issue for me is like sometimes I like try and be social, but then like I'm like shoot, like I want to impress
like
them.
you
yeah.
want to be yourself, but you also don't want to give up too
Yeah,
much.
exactly. You don't want to like show too much, and then maybe they're like, oh, he's like weird or something. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I agree with what Max said, because I'm in a relationship, but I still like struggle. I like overthink a lot, and then most of the time I just don't know what to talk about. So it like gets awkward at times. But like I also realized that like this is just like something you like regularly go through with a relationship. It's for me. So I'm just trying to like learn how to like overcome that, and I don't know what to say. So yeah, that's really.
I mean, advice that I can give is just like try not to like overthink it and not let it like.
Oh,
be
that's a
on
big
you.
one. That is a big
Like,
one.
Just like kind of like take it as like what you like have like gotten from them. Like don't overthink. Don't like put all these like different situations in your head, and then also like don't let it like don't think about it like all the time and too much. You know, like also focus on like other priorities that you have, because like you're still in high school
Yeah.
and like this isn't like forever yet. You know.
No, like
Yeah, I
with
needed
that,
that.
like you should not be stressing about getting a text
I
message
needed
on your
that.
phone. Like 2 hours delivered on your phone. Oh
You
my
should not be
gosh, they
stressed
hate me.
out.
Like
No, I
you should.
I did that yesterday.
Yeah, like you gotta chill out. You know, you
Never
gotta
mind.
like.
Calm down. It's
yeah,
okay. They'll see it
like,
eventually.
Exactly, right? Okay, unless like if we're going days without doing it,
Oh, yeah.
then maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's a sign. But like, bro, if it's like 2 hours, like I think you just need to chill out. Like you just let it process, let it marinate. You know what I mean? And then if they really do like you, and then maybe that's the deciding factor. Maybe it's like, hey, if they don't want to talk to me, then I don't want to talk to them anymore. You know?
Yeah, see me.
So-
I overthink all the time. Literally yesterday, I called him like twice and he didn't answer me. Turns out he was asleep the whole time.
Yeah,
But,
I mean
while-
that's just the way it is. you
While
know
he
what I
was
mean?
asleep, I was over here like panicking and like beaking the
Yeah.
Don't overthink it, please.
I mean, that's our advice. So
Yeah.
How important do you think communication is in a relationship?
So important.
I think it's the make or break actually.
Yeah.
If there's like a miscommunication, I think it's really important when you have a problem that you're going to that problem and you're actually addressing it. Because I see so many, like, and you know, even talking to my friends and stuff, and I'm not calling any of them out or like that, but like, they tell me like, hey, I got in a fight with like my boyfriend or my girlfriend, and they're like how do you like handle that? Especially like a lot of guys, they're like, sometimes they don't know. And like the easiest option for a lot of people is just to be petty about it and just to like block it out or shut it out, right? But I think that's why, you know, a lot of people break up is because you're not communicating. Even cheating, you're not communicating, hey, I wasn't happy in the relationship, I'm doing this. Or even if you get into an argument, like, you're not communicating your side and then their side, and you're not coming to an agreement. You're just separating even more. So I think that actually ultimately leads to that like ultimate breakup. So I think communicating always, even when it's tough, trust me, like they'll learn to appreciate it way more of you telling them something and how you're feeling than blocking it and pushing it away.
Yeah, I agree with what he said. Like, I feel like miscommunication is like one of the main reasons why people do break up.
That's what I'm saying.
And yeah, like I agree. And it's like, I feel like having that conversation can help like people understand each other and like have or lead more into the relationship, if that makes sense. Like, communication is really important. And I love communicating so much. I will always like make sure that happens. Because once I like find out that someone doesn't have good communication, I kind of just like back away a little bit. So yeah.
I mean, I think
They come back to life every
I
time.
just kind of dozed off there. I think communication is key and all that, but like a lot of people think like when they hear that like, oh, like communication is, you know, that like you have to tell that person like everything, and you have to like you have to feel obligated to like explaining them everything.
You
but
just have to set
shouldn't.
reasonable
I
boundaries.
feel like when you like want to have like healthy like communication skills with your relationship, it shouldn't be like having communication for what you have to feel obligated to say, but what you feel, you know? Because there's gonna be times, because like mind you, like this is someone you like really like don't know, you know, like y'all have never like lived in the same household, y'all like never grown up, and so like communicating with them, like obviously there's gonna be things that you don't want to say, but like just telling them like, hey, like I want to like tell you this, but like I feel like this and this, and that's why I can't tell you, and like they should be able to understand that.
Yeah.
I agree with
There's
that.
some things that you're not going to be able to communicate, but just like telling them how you feel and why you can't like do this and something like that, I feel like that's.
And it's funny you're saying that, like, you know, like there's an extent where you don't have to communicate, but almost you have to communicate that you don't want to communicate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not feeling good today. I just don't want to talk right now.
Yeah.
I trust me 100%. They will appreciate that way more
Like you're
than if you
telling
just
them.
ghost them, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, everyone's not going to have the best day. Everyone's going to have a bad day. You have your good days and your bad days. Hey, I want to talk to them more this day. Maybe not today. I'm just like not feeling it, or I'm stressed, or I'm busy. You know what I mean? You got to communicate that. And I think like another thing that a lot of people overlook is your relationship's not going to be perfect. Like, I think, you know, just like in our society today, we come to this like imagination that like your relationship, like you're gonna like everything they like, you're gonna be perfect. It's okay to ask for your wants and needs, because that's the whole point of the relationship, is to grow together and be like, hey, like I'm looking for this, this, and this. Okay. And if they truly like you or love you, they're
gonna
willing to
they'll work
do
with
that
you.
for you. You know what I mean? And I think like now we've come into this like misconception that like you can't ask for that or you can't say that, and then instead people are like, oh, that's not the right person. If it's not the right person, I think you'll come to that realization if you ask them and then they don't do it, then maybe that's something to reconsider. But I think it's always worth trying, you know, communicating and talking to them first. So, yeah, I don't know.
Because like not every relationship you see is going to be like the ones you see on social media, where
Yeah,
it's the
that's what I'm
perfect,
saying. Yeah,
literally the
exactly.
perfect couple who does everything together,
Exactly.
who spends all their time
Yeah.
together.
Seriously.
Yeah. But also like, never.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a scenario. Let's say you like someone, and you really like them, and you are desperate to be in a
Like
relationship.
10
with
out of 10, like locked in.
them. You're locked in.
Okay.
You're desperate, but this person is talking to someone, and they have a crush on someone else. But they're only talking to them. They're not in a relationship with them. What do you do?
Yurem, you want to go first?
Do you want me to?
Whoa.
I need a time to process it.
That
I would wait. Patience is key. Let that boat happen, and. who
But what if
knows?
they get in a relationship with the other person?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if they end up like marrying them?
Well, it's a good thing you didn't tell anyone about it. You know what I mean? It's a good thing you didn't like, you like kept those thoughts. Yeah, like I'm saying, like I would just be patient, keep to yourself, just like watch, let it happen, like whatever does happen, you know, just go with it.
Yeah.
And like you said, if they do become a relationship, it's a good thing like you weren't going like fan crazy and telling all your friends about it, or like telling like some people about it, you know, and then like you're getting all worked up, and then just for you to find that happen, like you get crushed and all that. So I mean, definitely like just let it ride out and like wait and just watch what happens.
And I think on that though,
Oh.
I'm thinking like, do not do anything to mess up with what they already have. Like, passively wait. Do not be that person where you're like trash talking the other person. You know what I mean? Like, do not.
They
be
don't
like
care
that.
about you
Yeah,
either.
exactly. Do not be
That's
like that.
gross.
Or like if they're like going through something, like maybe something like she's like, oh, like, or he's like, oh, like I don't like something about this. Don't be like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't be trying to like win them over like that. It's way better and it's way more just like respectful if you're like waiting for that person, even though like, you know, that desire, that like love that you have for them is really strong. That's not fair to the other person. And I think it goes back to that patience thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like not okay. Like,
And on top of like not being messy, sorry. On top of like not being messy too, like if it doesn't work out with them too, like you can go to like that other person that they were like in love with and like talk to them like, hey, so like how was it like with them, with like that whole process of like y'all in the stage of like talking and all that, and like they can probably tell you like, oh well, this is like how they kind of were, and like that's why we didn't work out and that, and then like it's like an inside look to that, you know.
yeah.
I feel like either way, you should still be supportive. Because wait, is the person that you like, is it like your friend, or is it like a person that you just like?
You know them, like you've talked to them.
Oh,
Nobody.
then yeah. I feel like
Oh my
I feel
bad.
like
They're not a hallway crush. They're like an actual person.
Okay, actual like okay. I feel like you should still be supportive anyway.
I want Play-Doh.
Like even though you like really like this person, it's just life. I don't like, know what else to say. It's just I mean, yeah, I guess you can be patient. Yeah, just be patient.
I mean, it's like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. Like, and I think, again, it's all like realization and like coming to a point where you're like, this is what I want. Maybe this isn't actually what's gonna happen. And it's like, that's a hard thing to like kind of cope with.
Like
you know
admit
what I
to
mean?
yourself. It's
Yeah, like
I
just-
want this, but
Yeah,
it
like
might
just
not
be
happen.
honest
It's
with
okay.
yourself. You know, everything's not gonna be sunshine and rainbows. So, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're too personal, Emma. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
But yeah,
April Fools.
just like have a little bit of faith, at least like
Yeah,
in yourself.
yeah, don't give up. Like, go for it.
honestly,
You know
don't
what I
give
mean?
up.
Don't just be like, oh, I'm never
Yeah, I
gonna
know,
have it.
yeah.
Yeah, just like yeah, just be patient with
Be
it. 'cause-
original. No,
I'm saying.
just kidding. Next.
Anything else?
So you like this person.
Okay.
This is a new scenario.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You like this person, you're talking to them, you ask them out, they friends on you. What do you do? Don't act like the guy I talked to.
Wait, you asked them out and they said yes, but they friend zoned you, or you
No,
asked them out and
so
then they
you
just
asked this
shot you
person
down?
out and they were like, oh, no, thank you. They
Never
basically-
catch me doing that. That's fine.
Depends on how they say it.
Yeah.
To be
I
honest.
think.
Okay, I'm gonna give you two ways they said it.
Okay.
First way, which is they said it kindly. They're like, I really like you as a friend, I like you as a person, but I'm not interested in you in this way, or I already have this thing going with another person.
That's the first way.
Yeah, that's the first way.
Okay, what's the second
What's the
one?
The second way is like, ew, never. Like, I would never ever like you in a million years.
Dang.
I
Did you
know.
propose it as a date though? Did you say it was a
From
date?
experience,
It's like-
that's fine.
No, this person proposed it as a relationship. Not-
No, like they went on a date and then this is
No.
after the date?
No, this is
Oh.
this is them asking.
So
Oh.
no date.
So no,
No
date.
date, no
so just
dating.
relationship.
No previous
Extended
relationship.
relationship.
Dang.
Hey man, I think. I mean, that's happened before to me. I think it's just. I think it's always
The first
good.
one or the second
The
one?
person
No, the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's good just to stay friends because, you know, weirdly, unless it's like you're really hurting, you're really like, oh no, like you can't.
Were you hurting?
And like I was not hurting. Yeah, I was chilling.
Darn.
But I think actually like my friendship with that person got better. I think it becomes stronger. What? What?
Oh my
I can't say
Do you know who it is?
No, I think no.
I can't say that. I think
I think I know what it is you're talking about.
I think the friendship gets stronger
I know who he
rather than
asked.
no, you don't. Do you? We're not name dropping on this podcast.
name drop
No one's
Yurem.
name
Do it.
dropping
You
on
know
this
you want
podcast.
to.
No, just wait. It just hit me out because you were talking about. I was like, wait. It's like,
I think it gets stronger
We'll talk about this later.
than breaks apart. Again, that's your decision. That's their decision. You know which avenue you want to take.
And also, if you really do like someone, you'd respect their decision.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, like, what are you like? You know nothing, actually. You know,
Oh.
you don't know anything.
Yurem actually knows all of
Should I
it.
name
so.
drop to you right here behind
No,
the
you should.
Ooh, behind the scenes.
Oh my.
Oh, wait, I covered mine.
Cover the mics.
All right, so we're okay. Yeah, we're done.
Moving on.
Okay. Are you gonna answer the question, Yurem, or are you gonna?
Oh, I wouldn't really ask
Ariel?
the person out.
I low-key forgot what the question was about. I'm gonna be so honest.
If you get friend zoned.
If you get friend zoned,
Oh, right, friend zone.
one of two ways. One way is like
Oh.
they are nice about it. The other, it's like they call you ugly and they hate you now.
I've never been this serious
I
before.
mean,
Oh, really?
if they did it the nice way, I would have been like, oh, okay, like that's fine. No, I understand. Like, move
Yeah.
on. If they did it the rude way, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, joke's on you. I was doing a Make-A-Wish project, but.
Okay.
Do you know what make a wish?
This is my thing though. I feel like after a few days, if you're like still hurting, I think you have to drop them as a friend because you're gonna hold that like emotional baggage this entire time. I think if after a few days you get over it and you're like, I'm back to normal, like I'm fine, then I think it's worth like staying with that. But then also if you're gonna drop them because it's too much like emotional baggage, you gotta communicate it. You can't be like that dude that was like just ghosted you. You know what I mean? You gotta be like, hey, like if I'm being honest, like this whole, me trying the relationship thing and like our friendship, there's just a lot of feelings I'm still feeling. So maybe it's even better to take a break. I need a break, or maybe hey, like maybe just I just can't do this. You know what I mean? I think that's always a better route than, making yourself suffer in a relationship or suffer in the friendship over the relationship. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, next. I don't know what to say. So,
Okay. I had a question I was gonna ask you, but is there? Oh wait. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you lose the spark, you don't like them anymore, what would you do to break up with them?
Break up with them? Bro, I don't want to think about that.
oh,
How are
I
you?
would. If y'all let that door close really hard.
You was thinking.
No, they're saying.
This is our last question, right?
Okay.
Oh, this is our last question.
Okay, if y'all let that door close.
Zip.
If y'all let that door
Oh.
close.
No, we're chilling. No,
Okay.
Okay, so I'll ask the question.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so you're in a relationship with a person and they're like, and you don't want to be in it anymore. Like you've lost the spark, you don't really like them anymore. How would you break up with them?
Dang, Max.
What?
Looking.
Me?
Yes.
I just broke up with him. Like,
Tell them how you feel.
I
Be like,
tried, okay, this is gonna sound really bad. I was like being distant because I didn't want to like, in all honesty, I just didn't want to talk to that person anymore. Like, I like saw them as a friend, other than like a boyfriend, and even like as a friend, I still didn't really like him that much. So I just straight up did it. And then I felt really bad because that was my first time ever like breaking up with someone. But it helped me a lot because like that made me like realize that I don't want that in a relationship anymore. So like what he did. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Okay.
Yurem, we're waiting for you.
I would just tell them how you feel. Tell them not like just like have a sit down conversation with them, and just get personal about it. Tell them like, hey, like yeah, just tell them like you're not really feeling it no more. You don't know like why.
Or maybe you do know why.
Oh yeah, maybe you do know why, and just tell them why. Because what's gonna be the worst thing that's gonna happen? You know?
I mean, and it's like, what really can you do?
Yeah. And why live with that if you're not gonna be like
Yeah.
happy?
Yeah.
Like, don't drag yourself through that if it's not what you
So
want.
just be brave and do it.
Yeah.
and do it.
So-
What he
Yeah.
said.
That's what I did.
Next.
Thanks for letting me answer. No, okay, so this is always a tricky situation. I think, first of all, talk it out. Don't resort to that. That's like the emergency button. Like
Yeah.
that's like
It's
the, that's
I
like
needed
the,
to
like the
die,
red
yeah.
button. Like emergency, right? Like I'm dying. I think it's always worth talking it out. I would give them, a couple times. Let's say you talk it out they're still not doing what you do. Okay, maybe another time, talk it out. Okay, now we're at the point that's like strike 3, right? Where you're like,
Yeah.
I think it's like time. I think the way you need to approach it is, yeah, finding a good time where you guys can sit down and really talk about it. And really just like tell them everything that you've been feeling or like maybe not feeling, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, blah, 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 this is why. And then kind of wait for them to process that and see what they have to say. And yeah, I mean, I think that's just the best way. Like, I really don't think that's always a solution though. I think always it's worth talking out first, you know?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Thank you guys so much for being here and talking with me. We'll see you guys next month for our second episode of Hear the Hill.